Good afternoon and good evening to everyone in America too. I'm Linda, and each day I come in and give you information so that we can heal hearts and awaken souls. And today is going to be day 3 where we're talking about trust. So we've been through different layers of trust and learning how to trust and what we need to understand and change in order that we can make healthier decisions for our lives. One of the things we talked about is laying a firm foundation, and that foundation that goes underneath, like building a big building, they have many layers of foundations. Just think about the big car parks when you go in under a building. There are many layers of foundations that actually hold that building up. They didn't just put the car parks there for our convenience. They need all of that foundation to make sure that big building stays upright. Okay, so today we want to talk about and have a discussion around trusting others. Hi Sarah, what are we going to do in order to be able to change how we look at trusting others and letting others into our lives, etc., etc. So we'll just put up today's keys for you and go from there. Okay, so again, we need to look at trust as a firm belief in the reliability, truth, or ability of someone or something. And often that has to be us first. So we've been learning about how we build that foundation of trusting ourselves to make healthier decisions than we have in the past, okay? And that it's a learnt process. It's not something that we do or know automatically. If you do, great. I don't know. I know more people where we have chosen to learn about these things. So, key number 1, observation. Before you choose to trust someone, or even let someone trust you, there needs to be a level of observation. So observation around your life, around the people that are around you. If somebody came into your life, would they trust the people around you as well as yourself? Okay? And it's not that it's a do or die in your life, but it's certainly a reflection of your character, the people that are around you. Does it mean we don't have people around us that aren't trustworthy or have got issues in their lives? No, not at all. But it certainly means that we're around people who are growing and developing character. None of us are perfect. Oh, Lord. No one's perfect, okay? But if we're all getting in and giving 100% of our effort in our relationships, people can observe that. They can see how you care for each other, and they can see levels of kindness. They can see levels of integrity. Remember right back at the beginning of May how we talked about anger, and someone can be angry and you can walk into a room and know it and they haven't said a word. Well, all these characteristics are around you as well. People can see when you're kind to someone. They can tell whether you've got a kind heart, okay? On and on it goes. So we want to spend time observing what's happening around us, what's happening around the people that we may be thinking of letting into our life. And it does take time, as we said in the first of this series, give time, all right? You do need to give time. Key 2, how do they talk about other people? Not how do they talk to people, but when they talk about other people, are they generous in their, what they say about them, or are they not generous? Because whatever they're talking about that comes out of their heart, and look, we're all guilty of it. Trust me, we're all guilty of saying something not so nice about somebody else. And the difference is, because we're so human, the difference is, when you do it, do you pull yourself up, or do you keep going down this intent road of how bad that other person is? It's something that we have to be honest and examine our lives day to day. What are we doing? And if somebody else goes down a road of always bashing other people and their lives, you're going to know straight away that, one, they don't self-reflect, or if they do, it's rarely, and they don't understand the dynamics that if I'm saying something about someone else, we've got, pointing towards them, and I've got all my fingers pointing back at me, okay, then I need to be looking at myself first and foremost. So if you're going to trust someone, consciously trust them, then you've got to begin to think consciously about whether they've got characteristics of trustworthiness. Does it mean that we never say anything bad about someone? No, because we get ticked off. We're human, okay? But what it does mean is, am I somebody who sits back and goes, oh, wow, I need to change that habit, and I need to sit down and look at where I'm triggered and have a good look at myself, okay? There's a big difference in owning our humanity and stop pretending that we've got life perfect, because we haven't. Anyone who's running around saying they've got life perfect, just run in the other direction. It'll save you a lot of heartache, save you a lot of judgment. Okay, key 3, which we've touched on as well, is kindness towards others who can do nothing for them, part of their makeup. Now, I really want to emphasise, do nothing for them. We can go through life and see people who are very selfish. And I want to be clear that there's a whole information going around the internet attitude of, if you've got people in your life that can do nothing for you, then you're the one, you've got to get rid of them. Only surround yourself with people who can do something for you. And I'm just like, do you not even hear yourself how selfish that sounds? You want to surround yourself only with people who can do something for you. Where's your heart? Where is your heart centered? And why is your heart centered around only people who can do something for you? Yeah, I wouldn't be trusting anyone like that ever. Those kind of people are very selfish and self-orientated, and yeah, not my cup of tea. Might suit others. Maybe it does, I don't know, but I wouldn't trust somebody like that to be there if I needed a genuine friend in the middle of the night, Yeah. But do you see, Sarah, that people don't think about it? They think, oh, yes, if I've got to have my life right, then I've got to have people around me who can only do something for me. And that's the message that's going around the internet at the moment. Why aren't we challenging it? Why aren't we saying, no, life's about me helping others? That's where my heart needs to be focused. Anyhow, key 4. Yes, we're here to serve others. We definitely are. And it's where a lot of our joy comes from. We derive joy from helping others and let everything else go. We don't worry about it. Okay, so key 4, do they take emotional responsibility? I wish I knew this years ago category. This is what it comes under. Observe whether this person is actually able to use the words I'm sorry. And from their heart, not, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know about you, but I taught my kids how to say sorry from their heart. When they were kids, it's like, oh, they're fighting and, mum this, mum that. Oh, look, it doesn't matter what the contents of the argument are. You're both going to stand here and say, oh, I'm sorry from your heart, okay? And they do that. And you know what? It's been the essence of good communication amongst the 3 of them, who are all different all the time, being willing and able to say, I'm sorry from the heart. So if somebody's not going to be emotionally responsible for the words that come out of their mouth, for their actions, for what's happened, they really will have a hard time saying, I'm sorry. So just be careful around that area. Key 5, joy, peace, patience, love, kindness, self-discipline, faithfulness, part of their character. Now, no one's going to exhibit all of those characteristics up front. You might be sitting back having a good day, just laughing, enjoying life. Great. But over time, are they exhibiting these characteristics? And are we exhibiting these characteristics in order that we are trustworthy as well? And there's different depths to all of these characteristics as well. So you have to be careful, because somebody could be exhibiting patience at one point in time, and then next thing you know, they've got a firecracker trigger to anger and they go off. So then you're going to know that their patience doesn't run too deep. Okay? People who are in a hurry to form relationships and not let things unfold, their patience won't be very high either. Okay, key 6. Where can you see selfishness in their lives? Now, have you ever thought about that? That part of being able to choose whether we trust someone else is, where are they selfish? Now, we all are selfish in different areas of our lives, because time is limited, so we have to discern what we can and can't do. And sometimes that's not just selfish, it's just where we're going to go. Now, that's okay, not a problem, but is somebody who's selfish from the heart, they'll never give others the time of day, okay? They'll always want things their way. They won't ever listen to you. They won't ever have time for you. They won't be aware of their actions. So again, it comes back to the other keys where, is kindness part of their makeup? Are they emotionally responsible? Etc., etc. So if we can see selfishness, we can begin to discern where that selfishness is coming from in them and what part of their character is needing work on. And it's not that we're judging them, we're making an observation, we're separate from it, and we're aware, because we need to be aware in case it triggers us, because the last thing we want to do is start a merry-go-round of them in their space where they've got to do work, personal work, and then us being triggered. And sometimes life requires of us that we be the strong person, and we be able to say we have to hold space for them so they can do their journey. Okay? Key 7, trust is earned by both parties, not just by one. So as we're doing the observation process, somebody else should be observing us as well. Are we a trustworthy person? Are our yeses yes and our no's no? Or if it's only a maybe, are we keeping communication as into what direction we're headed? Okay, so communication will play a big part in trust, because you have to be able to be emotionally honest with somebody, like say how you're feeling, and then not be upset because you're just trying to work through your stuff, okay? Somebody who's mature in this area will allow you to say how you feel, and you can be comfortable knowing that it doesn't mean that they're going to cut a relationship off. Those people are trustworthy, okay? And key 8, never rush anything you hope to last an extended period of time. So in that respect, never rush anything that you hope will last a lifetime. So if you're going into a permanent relationship, marriage, don't rush it. You've got your lifetime. There's no rush. And marriage magnifies everything. So whatever issues you've got, marriage will magnify it. Okay? Absolutely. Don't rush friendships. Everybody's, we have to move on from the mentality that I have one best friend and that's it. I have several really good friends, absolute besties, and all because they know me for who I am and what I'm doing and where I'm going, and they accept and understand that sometimes I can't do everything. And I love them, and I will do whatever I can to help them, always, 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 always. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. It's a big issue, is trust, especially in the world. And if you're on the internet and you're getting to know people on the internet, apply all the keys. Take your time. Give time, okay? And use your wisdom. You're very wise. Have you thought about how wise you are and how you're willing to learn? And so for today, we're going to do hashtag give time. Give time so that I can know that I've got my ducks in a row. And look, if at the end of the day the relationship doesn't work out over time, you're going to have learnt something from it. And you're going to begin to understand that your strength comes from within to keep nourishing and nurturing your life and not worrying about people that come and go. It's okay, because we come and go from their life as well. Did we ever stop and think about that? That when people come and go from our life, we come and go from theirs too? So it's always about a bigger picture. It's not just about us. Yeah, that's right. So I'd love for you to feel free to hit the share button, to hit the love button, and help other people that are in your sphere come to understand how to trust others. So much of what we talk about here, other people don't know and haven't known, and we have to be the ones that make it okay that we've got to learn this stuff, okay? That's why I feel really passionate about sharing all this information with you, because it will go on to change the generations that come after us as well. Oh, thanks, Sarah. That's beautiful. Thank you. I have a real heart that our children, the children that come after us, so our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, and so on, will be able to have the information to have healthy relationships, to be able to have that level of communication. Okay? Thanks for sharing. I was going to say this morning, but it's actually afternoon. Thanks for sharing, Sarah. And everybody who comes on hashtag replay later. Tomorrow I'm going to do something a little bit different. I actually have the privilege of doing what's called pocket preaching. So at my church, I get up and speak on a subject for 10 minutes. And I'm going to be speaking about coming out of the wilderness. So if your life has ever entered a phase where it's just like the whole world's caved in, then we can all learn from how to get out of the wilderness. Okay? Cool. All right. Blessings and dreams, and I will see you all tomorrow, if the scene will come up.